Höfler und drin. Sebastian Albert.
The game is over and RB Leipzig are through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Leipzig 2, Atletico Madrid 1.
Red Bull, an Austrian-based energy drinks company known for its unique yet wacky cartoon adverts, strategic viral marketing, and endorsement of extreme sports. I'm sure you've all heard of these guys. And if you've ever had to pull an all-nighter on your varsity finals, you've definitely heard of these guys. I know I have. Red Bull gives you wings. Of course, in a literal sense, this is not true. But the same can't be said about the growth of the company since it was founded in 1984. Since then, they've gone up, and away. As of 2021, the company has a brand valuation of roughly 16 billion euros. And in 2020 alone, they sold over 7.9 billion cans of that sweet anti-sleep juice. Which is odd, considering the fact that we were all in lockdown back then. I'm not so sure why everyone needed to stay up so much. Anyway, you get the idea. This is a massive company. At this point, you may be asking, big man, this is a football channel. What are you going on about? You're not wrong, friend. In fairly recent times, the energy drink powerhouse has turned their attention to football. And long story short, they have a few fans, but they also have a long list of detractors. Like many questions in this strange thing we call life, the answer as to why is not black and white. So, in today's video, we're going to take a brief look into Red Bull's growing presence in world football, the good, the bad, and the possible way forward. Stick around because it'll be a goodie. So, without further ado, is Red Bull good for football or not? Yo, what's good everyone? Really hope you're all having a smashing day. We're back with another banger. We'll get into the specifics in a bit, but regardless of where you stand on whether you're for or against Red Bull, you gotta admit that what they've done takes an enormous amount of skill. Speaking of which, ever wanted to learn a new skill? Of course you have. Look at you, you little smarty pants. Fear not, because Skillshare, the sponsor of today's video, is here to help. Skillshare is an online learning platform boasting a user base in the millions. Learning and mastering new skills has never been more accessible than it is in today's day and age. And with thousands of premium classes in various topics and many more being added each week, now's your time to learn that thing that you've been saying you would for years now. Photography? Skillshare's got you covered. Graphic design? Skillshare. Video editing, script writing, or sound design? You know where to go. It's Skillshare, in case you were wondering. If you ever thought about starting your own YouTube channel, for example, massive creators such as Marques Brownlee have you covered with classes on YouTube Success. Here, in his class titled YouTube Success, he details how he scripts, shoots, and edits his videos. I took the class, and as I'm still personally learning so much about YouTube, it was superb. And for a limited time only, Skillshare is offering a 1-month free trial to the first 1,000 people that join using the link in the description. That's $0, by the way. It's a pretty good price, to be fair. So why not go ahead and join Skillshare and learn something new today. Huge thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Let's jump right back into Red Bull. Red Bull is known for many things, and amongst those things, they are perhaps most prominently known for their ability to draw attention towards themselves. To kick this one off, we're going to briefly look into the evolution of their marketing strategies over time. I don't care how good your product is, how much it'll help people, or how many hours you put into creating it. If nobody knows about it, it's essentially a failure from the get-go. Red Bull found a way to circumvent that dilemma. In the words of Red Bull co-founder Dietrich Mateschitz, when we first started, we said there is no existing market for Red Bull, but Red Bull will create it. And this is what finally became true. Knowing that, it should come as no surprise that Mateschitz had obtained a top degree in marketing in his younger years, and by the time Red Bull had been thought of as a potential business, he already had years of quality experience in the industry. He knew what had to be done. In the beginning, his motive was simple: appeal to a younger, edgier crowd. Or another way of looking at it is a crowd that loves movement, an idea which saw him promote the product to college students by sponsoring house parties, bar and club events, and general debauchery. They would go to school campuses and employ brand ambassadors to distribute their product, something they still do to this day. These were usually just popular kids on campus, which is funny because I always used to see these people on campus when I was studying, but I was never approached. I'm not sure why. Wait a minute. They would place empty Red Bull cans in clubs and put an emphasis on word-of-mouth advertising. Remember, this was the late 80s/early 90s. Billboards, newspapers, prints, and other forms of mass marketing existed, but they didn't need any of that. They were revolutionizing the game, and what followed was even more maverick marketing behavior from them. Sponsorship of extreme sports, athletes, and generally death-defying stunts. And as we can see, it all worked. 1988. The first ever Red Bull sponsored event, a grueling extreme sports relay race known as the Dolomitenman. Mountain running, paragliding, mountain biking, whitewater kayaking, it's tough stuff. 1989, the first Red Bull sponsored athlete, Gerhard Berger, a former Austrian F1 driver. Sponsorship eventually turned to ownership over the years. Notably, 2005, Red Bull Racing is formed. Lewis Hamilton does not approve. This pattern would only continue to perpetuate, and keep in mind, yes, they were building up other revenue streams and making long-term investments, but that was not the end goal. At the end of the day, the only product this company sells is energy drinks. All of this sponsorship, all of this virality, all of it was and is still done primarily in the name of selling this caffeinated pick-me-up. Which brings us to football. 2005, SV Austria Salzburg, an Austrian club formed all the way back in 1933. Red Bull purchased the club and fans were initially feeling a little optimistic for the future. A big company that could potentially bankroll the club and take them to the next level.
Okay, let's go.
But when you make a deal with the devil, don't be surprised when he comes to collect. Red Bull immediately went ahead and changed everything. The team's home kit was changed from a purple and white kit to red and white. The backroom staff, management, and even the name changed to align with the brand recognition intentions of the new owners. And to make matters worse, upon the takeover and reorganization, Red Bull CEO announced that this is a new club with no history. Yikes. Imagine hearing a new owner say that about the 72-year-old club you've supported all your life. Fans were livid and protested for Red Bull to honor their club's history, but the only thing they were willing to do was let the goalkeeper wear purple socks at away games. Oof. In retaliation, the OG fans registered their own club under the same name as the original one, SV Austria Salzburg. They currently play in the third tier of Austrian football. If you check the Red Bull Salzburg website, you'll see that they have since backtracked on the claims that this is an entirely new club. However, the damage was already done. It's also worth noting that this wasn't the only time Red Bull have done something like this, albeit to a smaller degree. A few months later, when purchasing Italian F1 racing team Minardi, change ushered in by Red Bull did not impress existing fans. Over 15,000 people signed a petition to maintain the name and heritage of the team, but this was unsuccessful and Scuderia Toro Rosso, or Team Red Bull in English, was born. Having said that, just to play devil's advocate here, Red Bull Salzburg has been a pretty successful venture for Red Bull and even the fans that decided to stay on as supporters. It's been 16 years since Salzburg were taken over. In that time frame, they have won the Austrian Bundesliga 12 times. 12. This includes last season, and the season before that, and the season before that, and the season before that. You get the idea. Compare that to 3 league victories in the 72 years before the takeover, and the line for what we're willing to morally accept begins to blur even more. They've also nurtured gems that we all celebrate in world football to this very day. Erling Haaland.
Tonight you became the youngest player in UEFA Champions League history to score a first-half hat-trick. How are you feeling right now?
I feel very good.
Cheers, Jeff.
Sadio Mane, Takumi Minamino, Marcel Sabitzer, and Daya Upamecano form just a small handful of players I'm referring to. Now, question for you, if this were to happen to your club, the good and the bad, how would you feel about it? Comment your thoughts below. Only 1 year after the Salzburg venture, Red Bull New York came into the fray. Formerly known as Metro Stars, again a total rebranding that was not universally accepted by the fan base followed. The club was significantly younger than SV Austria Salzburg, having only been founded in 1994, so I guess that, in conjunction with the vastly different football culture, meant that this wasn't as controversial as it maybe could have been. In any case, on the pitch, this hasn't been a very successful project thus far. Despite bringing in stars such as Thierry Henry, Rafa Marquez, and others at varying points, no league silverware has come their way as of yet, apart from a few supporters' shields for the regular season. But does that even matter? The brand recognition is really what it's all about, and owning a football team in the media and advertising capital of the world sounds like a pretty good deal to me. For Red Bull, that is. Seeing as it only made sense geographically, Red Bull's sights from a footballing perspective had been firmly placed on Germany as early as 2006, a search which proved to be fruitless for several years. They searched far and wide throughout Deutschland, but just couldn't seem to find their way in. But before we go further, I'd be remiss if I didn't quickly mention Germany's 50+1 ruling. Taken straight from the Bundesliga website, 50+1 states the following. Under German Football League rules, football clubs will not be allowed to play in the Bundesliga if commercial investors have more than a 49% stake. In essence, this means that private investors cannot take over clubs and potentially push through measures that prioritize profit over the wishes of supporters. In Germany, football is for the people. Corporations and individuals have tried to go the Roman Abramovich, Sheikh Mansour, Mohammed bin Salman route in the past and have failed due to the stringent protections put in place. So, with that in mind, this is a dilemma, right? The purpose of 50+1 is to prevent overt marketing and corporate capitalistic ideals from seeping into the game. Apologies, my guys, but better luck next time.
You serious?
No, come on. We all know that's not how it went down. After being pointed in the right direction by the sort of resources and contacts that only a multi-billion euro company has access to, they settled on Leipzig, a German city which had all the makings of a booming football hub, a sizable population, large modern infrastructure, and a rich history in football. Red Bull had found their golden egg. A golden egg in the form of 5th division side SSV Markranstadt. Acquiring a club of course proved to be difficult over the years for a few reasons. A big one was the naming of said club. Football is for the people, remember? A club simply cannot have Red Bull in the name. But hang on, isn't that the main reason for why they were purchasing the club in the first place? So if they can't put their name on their own advertising conduit, then what's the point? Luckily, they have big brains over there. The large cranium scientists over at Red Bull worked day and night drinking their wide eye juice and came out with a genius name. Rasenballsport Leipzig. Sounds good, right? It's got that ring to it. It literally translates to lawn ball sports. You can't make this up. While still outrageous, they realized that just the initials RB were enough to perpetuate their identity, meaning their initial intentions were not compromised. They weren't wrong. I often forget that they're not officially named Red Bull Leipzig, and you'd probably be lying to yourself if you said you didn't. And so, in 2009, they bought the playing rights off of SSV Markranstadt, founded RB Leipzig, and went on an absolute tear, making it to the Bundesliga in 7 years. Since making it to the top flight, they've regularly finished in the top 3 of the Bundesliga and even made the Champions League semi-final as recently as 2020. And don't forget, the club has only just become a teenager as of 2022. Unreal. Something further to note about RB Leipzig's running of the club is the membership structure. While other German clubs allow their members to have voting rights on how the club is run and boast membership numbers in the region of the thousands and hundreds of thousands, as recently as 2014, Leipzig only had 9 members. And get this, all of them were either Red Bull employees or their corporate associates. Further to that, prices for becoming a voting member can go up to €1,000, and even if you manage to pay the fee of entry, the already existing members have the power of rejecting all applications as they see fit, meaning the club is essentially entirely run by Red Bull. Before the formation of this club, Red Bull clubs had hardly been universally loved, but as for RB Leipzig, you can all see why this club gets probably the worst rap out of all of them. It essentially stands for everything that German footballing culture despises, a corporate-run organization. But again, just to play devil's advocate, nobody can deny that this has also been a wildly successful project. German and Bundesliga fans, please correct me in the comments, but from the outside looking in, it seems as though Red Bull has revitalized the footballing spirit of the city of Leipzig. They've poured hundreds of millions into development of the sport and have added much needed competition to a league that is solely dominated by Bayern Munich for the most part and Borussia Dortmund from time to time. They haven't won a major trophy yet, but it really does seem like it's only a matter of time. The Leipzig Central Stadium was tenantless when RB moved in back in 2009, and since then, high-level football has been played there on a consistent basis. And even further to that, a survey was conducted by the Leipziger Volkszeitung, a long-standing local news outlet back in 2009 when the club was formed. This survey indicated that, at the time, over 70% of the Leipzig population were happy with the new developments, although I'm not sure what that figure looks like today. So there is clearly good, and there is very clearly bad. Again, if this happened in your city, how would you feel? And that brings us to the question of the day. Is Red Bull good for football? Well, no. But also yes. It's a tough question to answer that, like most questions, does not have only one answer. It's no secret that Red Bull's main goal is to sell energy drinks, not change lives or make the world a better place. These things do happen as a result of their endeavors, don't get me wrong. But if they weren't selling these bad boys, I doubt they would bother. Which, to me, honestly, I might get crucified for this, but I think it's fine. Even if it's not their intention, they are doing some good in the world. They have changed lives. There are likely countless people that have gainful employment thanks to their involvement in the sport, players that have been given a chance to shine in Europe, and cities that have been subject to positive change. Regardless of their intention, you can't discount these aspects. And just a general note for this video, I'm not defending Red Bull's behavior. They've clearly breached the footballing culture of several nations thus far and rightly deserve the backlash. But at the same time, I'm not German or Austrian, so I can't speak on it on an emotional level. All I'm trying to do here is provide context for both sides from the perspective of someone who's not physically on the ground there. Just thought I'd leave that bit in there. Other football projects of theirs include Red Bull Ghana, which was founded in 2008 and disbanded in 2013. Many young men got a chance to move to Europe off the back of this club, despite its ultimate shutting down and failure. Red Bull Brazil and more recently Red Bull Bragantino are Brazil-based sides, with the latter having just been promoted to the top division of Brazilian football. We'll be watching them with great interest. And even more recently, in 2021, Red Bull have sponsored Vietnamese club Hoang An Gia Lai Football Club. I already know I've butchered that name, but anyway, we move. But like I said, I'm looking in from the outside. Anyone with a Red Bull team in your backyard, or anyone without one really, let me know what you think. Anyway, that's all from me today. This one was really fun to make. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you're all staying safe. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.